Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Last night in Oakland, frustration definitely set in for the Yankees as they fell 2-1 in the series opener. But the Bombers right back at it tonight as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the A's from the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Hey everybody, Ryan Ruocco alongside Jeff Nelson. So happy to be with you this Wednesday evening for Yankees baseball on Yes. We know yesterday, Jeff, the bats just could not get going for the Yankees, although it was another well-pitched game from them. Let's take a look at tonight's pitching matchup. For the Yanks, it'll be a Domingo Germán on the mound, 4-5, a 5.10 ERA. J.P. Sears, 1-5 with a 4.10. He's pitched much better of late. Germán has gone the other direction. A lot of good earlier in the season, Jeff, but a lot of bad over the last two outings.
Yeah, it's been the command of the fastball. He hasn't got the swings and misses from that curveball. It's just snowballed these last two outings, and he's got to get back to the previous two where he got in the seventh against the Dodgers and then 6 innings, both giving up just 1 run. There you see the swings and misses on the breaking ball. He wasn't getting that the last 2 starts. And look at this fastball out over the middle of the plate to Turner. That was a home run. He's been giving up a lot of home runs as of late as well, having a hard time keeping it in the park. Another one against Seattle. He actually gave up 4 home runs against Seattle in that outing, but a lot of mislocated fastballs, and that breaking ball not as sharp as it was a few starts ago.
Well, his first 2 starts in June, outstanding, 1-0, 1.42 ERA. His last 2, disastrous, 0-2 with a 25.31 ERA. Germán looking to bounce back tonight. Now the Yankees bullpen gets yet another weapon back this evening. Ian Hamilton off the IL and chats with Meredith Marakovitz. That's next right here on Yes.
And the A's. Hey everyone, everyone. I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Prior to tonight's game, the Yankees made a roster move, optioning Johnny Brito, adding Ian Hamilton back to the roster, and he is standing by with me right now. Ian, just how excited are you to get back out there?
Looking forward to it. It's been a long time.
What told you that the injury was behind you, you were good to go?
Definitely after the first rehab stint down there, felt pretty good, and then bounced back the next day, so started to feel pretty normal, and then just kind of started doing normal stuff and felt good.
You haven't been on a big league mound since mid-May, but when you look at early this season, you really had tremendous success up here. How do you go about trying to duplicate that success now?
Just going to go pitch by pitch and then just see what happens and not try to do too much and not try to outperform anything and just kind of go out by out and everything.
In those rehab starts, how was the ball coming out of your hand?
Felt good, felt normal, and then you know, it felt good to be down there feeling like that, so up here it should be about the same.
We talked a lot early this season about that Slambia. What do you think why is that pitch so effective for you?
Definitely just gives a different look compared to other pitches. It's like just everyone says it just kind of jumps out a little different, so anything to get an edge up here is going to help.
We look forward to seeing it at some point in time in the near future. Ian, best of luck.
Thank you.
Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Ryan Ruocco will be joined by Jeff Nelson. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Brought to you in part by NYU Langone Health, the '1 hospital in the U.S. for neurology and neurosurgery. By Grand Palladium Jamaica Resort and Spa. Visit PalladiumHotelGroup.com today. And by FanDuel, making every moment more. Some of the gentlemen who have worn both Yankees and A's uniforms throughout their careers. Scott Brosius. Of course, that shot celebrating a World Series victory, a World Series MVP for Brosius in 1998. We'll take a look at tonight's Yankees starting lineup, brought to you by TikTok. DJ LeMahieu leading off, Gleyber Torres bat second, then it's Rizzo and Stanton in the middle to go to with Stanton in the outfield tonight. Bader, Donaldson, IKF, Higashioka, and then Anthony Volpe, who has been locked in over the last week or so. 3 a game last night. He rounds out the Yankees starting lineup. On the mound for the Oakland A's tonight, old friend J.P. Sears. You see the season numbers may not be great, but he's been much better of late as we check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, he has been great of late. A reverse splits. Righties are hitting only 203 and lefties 307. The only lefty in the Yankees lineup is Anthony Rizzo. He gets tougher. That first time around the lineup, 265. Then it gets a lot better for J.P. Sears, 210 the second time. 177 that third time around the lineup. Now, you never really see that too often in Crazy H. You mentioned how he's gotten a lot better as of late. 2.93 ERA in his last 8 starts.
Let's check out the defense behind him. Presented by Buick. Brent Rooker in left. Esteuri Ruiz in center. Seth Brown in right. Bride at third. Diaz at short. Kemp and Noda on the right side. Carlos Perez is the DH, and behind the plate, it's Shea Langoliers, who showed off his arm last night. Throwing out Anthony Volpe at second base. Volpe's first caught stealing of his career. So LeMahieu will lead things off. Middle game of this 3-game set from Oakland. And the first pitch is fouled away. LeMahieu was 0 for 3 last night with a walk. Yankees still looking to get him going. Lines that into right center field. That is caught. Ruiz a diving grab, and LeMahieu robbed of a hit.
Ruiz a tremendous jump in center field, and just when things aren't going the way you want, you hit the ball on a line thinking that might get in the gap, and Ruiz lays out with a nice catch. You see this, I think it's getting right into right center field, and he lays out and makes a good catch.
And J.P. Sears applauds. Here's Gleyber Torres. Had a pinch hit single in the 9th inning last night and takes strike 1. Now, even though Sears has those reverse splits that Jeff was talking about, the Yankees loaded up their lineup with righties. No McKinney, no Bowers in tonight's lineup. Torres DHing. LeMahieu and Donaldson also playing in this game.
Sears has a fastball, 92 to 94, slider and a change. One of the reasons why he does so well against righties is because he has that changeup that he'll use and throw it down and away. Has a lot of success with it. Doesn't really throw it a whole lot to lefties.
He does give up the long ball, second highest homers per 9 allowed. Only Yusei Kikuchi allows more per 9. And nice sweeper there from Sears. Gets Torres on strikes. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, must win. Can you say it's a must win here in late June?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lose 2 out of 3, or or the first 2 games in a series against the worst team in baseball. Sorry, you just can't do it. String some hits together. Now, last night they had some opportunities, especially in that 9th inning when they had the tying runs on base. They just could not string some hits together to get those runs across. Hopefully that'll change tonight. And Germán, I think he sets the tone. He had a really good start last night with Brito, hoping for the same thing with Germán. Allow your offense to score a little more runs than just 1, as they did last night.
Big rip there from Rizzo, and it's 0-2. The Yankees have struggled in this building in recent years. 5-14 in Oakland since 2017. The 0-2. Rizzo loops it into shallow center. Easy for Ruiz. And that will do it in the top of the first. Yankees go down 1-2-3. Germán up next. A's fans continue to deliver messages here in Oakland. We'll take a look at tonight's A's starting lineup, brought to you by TikTok. Tony Kemp leading off, Ryan Noda bats second, then it's Ruocco, Perez, and Brown in the middle of the order. Jonah Bride, the third baseman, bats sixth. Diaz, Langoliers, and Ruiz round out the A's starting lineup. For the Yankees, Domingo Germán on the mound. Take a look at the season numbers. ERA has gotten inflated after the last two. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, more heaters. I'd like to see him throw more fastballs, establish it on both sides of the plate. He only throws it 39% of the time. Swings and misses. He hasn't gotten the swings and misses on the breaking pitch and also the fastball that he in those last two starts. Hopefully that changes tonight. In the first pitch, he has to watch the first pitch. He's given up 7 home runs on the first pitch alone this year, which leads Major League Baseball.
Here's Kemp swinging at the first pitch and fouls it wide of first. And the last two outings have sent Germán's ERA from 3.49 to 5.10. He had been on a great run. Had a lot of consistent success, some dominant outings, and then the last two he has not been able to stop the bleeding. That ball's hit in the air to right field. Stanton out there makes the catch for the first out. Let's check out the defense presented by Buick. IKF in left, Bader in center, Stanton in right, Donaldson and Volpe on the left side, LeMahieu and Rizzo on the right side, and Higgy behind the plate. Aaron Boone talking about getting Stanton in the outfield mix. We saw it a couple days ago. We see it again here.
I think he's more comfortable playing the outfield and taking those at bats. It's very, I've seen a lot of guys that try to DH, and the hardest time is those in between the at bats. When they play the field, they feel a lot more comfortable. They feel, okay, if I'm not doing it at the plate, at least they can contribute in the field. Very few guys can, do well in just the total DH role. Like Martinez and Big Papi.
And Stanton's obviously had success in that role, but to your point, Jeff, he has talked about feeling better at the plate in games where he's in the field.
Yeah, you get away from your struggles at the plate and you take it out in the outfield. You have to play defense out there, and
good curve there, and Noda swings through it, 2 away.
And contribute in right field. Raul Ibanez, who was an ex-Yankee, he couldn't stand the DH role. He didn't know how. He just, in between those at-bats, it just drove him crazy. At least you go out in the outfield and you get away from the batter's box a little bit. Tough for guys to adjust to that.
He talks about getting strike one, and that is what Germán has done thus far.
Plus, it gives up somebody else an opportunity to get off their feet. You want certain guys in that lineup, like a Torres tonight. He can be a DH. You put LeMahieu at second. You have Stanton out in right field. The Yankees do a good job of using that, or have used it as a revolving door. Get guys off their feet when they needed it. He played there for years in Miami when there was no designated hitter in the National League.
There's a curve for a strike, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good start for Germán. A couple of strikeouts and a 1-2-3 first. We go to the second, no score. Hot tee of the Yankees. It's chilly, 59 degrees. Feels like 59. Oh yeah, look at that shot, huh? Some chop you got to wade through in these waters.
Yeah, it seems colder looking at that water too.
Here's Stan to lead off the top of the second. No score, Yankees and A's. Stan, after some positive signs over the weekend, was 0 for 4 last night. Had a golden opportunity in the 8th with 2 on, 2 out. Was ahead in the count 3-0, and then eventually grounded out on a 3-2 pitch to third to end the threat. Feels a little chillier than 59, doesn't it?
Yes, that sun. Yesterday was a little bit warmer. It took a few innings to get cold. Tonight, definitely colder.
The 2-1, 3-1. Right, you already got the north face. Mare is bundled up in a hoodie.
I need like hot hands, like to warm your hands.
You mean the hand warmers?
Yes.
Big swing there, 3-2.
That was a fastball, and he just misses that one on the inside part of the plate, and look for Sears to go back away right here on a 3-2 count.
There you go.
You know, right now, when the way that Stanton's struggling, you're going to pitch him away. I mean, he bails a lot. It means he moves off the ball. He pulls off the ball when he swings. You'll see a lot of pitches on that outside part of the plate.
Another 3-2. Swing and a tip into the glove, and Stanton down on strikes.
Well, Sears comes back with that fastball. This one was at 95. He's usually around 92, 94, but a little extra on that one. A little four-seamer upstairs.
Here's Harrison Bader with one down. Hey, you got your hand warmers.
Yes. I was just actually kidding, but maybe later they will come in handy.
Let me tell you, the people who work this Oakland booth, they have everything.
They have everything, yes. Meredith, you can use them if you want.
Yeah, look at the guys. They're all bundled up.
Very small dugouts here. There's not a whole lot of places to sit. The only ballpark that doesn't have that fence or screen in front of it.
Bader pops it into foul ground. A lot of room out there. Noda makes the catch for the second out. That's not staying in many ballparks, but here it does.
No, another fastball upstairs, a little four-seamer, and you're right. Usually this ball is in the stands, probably at Yankee Stadium. It's in the stands, but not here.
Bader's been getting out some frustration after his recent at-bats. His helmet took a beating yesterday.
It's always the equipment.
Yeah, well,
it's the equipment's fault.
I'm glad it's the equipment and not a living organism.
Every time you fail, it's always the equipment's fault.
Right.
It's either the bat, your shoes, you
the
change
water
your
cooler.
shoes, water cooler.
Hi, Paul.
Your helmet.
Donaldson broke an 0 for 15 skid with a homer last night. He's behind 0-2 here.
You have a couple bad outings in a row. It's always something. It's not you. It's the glove and the hat you always keep. The shoes and everything else, they're all interchangeable until you find that groove.
Oh, this is what's going on. And Josh Donaldson had some initial thoughts on that strike call for Edwin Moscoso. The 0-2. Fouled straight back. Let's take a look at the umpire scouting report on Moscoso. Hitter friendly.
Another one. Chris Guccione last night behind the plate was also hitter friendly. They're usually not my favorite kind of umpires.
I understand why. Exit velocity presented by Spectrum. Josh Donaldson's home runs this season, an average distance of 419 feet. So they've been smashed. Only has 9 hits on the season. 7 of them are home runs. Had Donaldson fooled, but just missed low. 1-2.
Yeah, Sears thought it was there. It was just down and off of that strike zone.
Stays alive there. Donaldson got his career started here in Oakland after coming over as part of the Rich Harden trade. Battling here. That might have ended up in one of the broadcast booths just next to us.
Maybe radio.
Yeah, you think Shaq or Susan got that one?
Susan bring her glove.
Maybe moving forward after the way baseball's been flying into the radio booth. Donaldson takes 2-2.
Well, nice at bat here. You've seen Sears. This was on the outside part. This was not a strike. Langoliers tried to bring it in. You see where it's about 3 or 4 inches on the outside.
The 2-2. There's strike 3. Dropped in a breaking ball, and Donaldson, after a good battle, is down looking. 3rd strikeout for Sears. 6 up, 6 down for the Yanks. Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. You see the numbers from Ian Hamilton and Meredith. The Yankees get him back today.
And he is excited to be back, Ryan. He has not been on the roster since about mid-May, dealing with that groin injury. Had a couple rehab appearances, and he felt as though the ball was really coming out of his hand well. No issues when it comes to the groin. No restrictions on Ian Hamilton. And just another weapon that Aaron Boone can go to in that bullpen. An interchangeable part like you guys were talking about yesterday. You can use him early in the game, or even a guy that could be used towards the back end. He's had a tremendous amount of success, as you saw by those numbers this season. Obviously his breaking pitch is his bread and butter pitch that he goes to a lot, but keeping opposing batters below 200 so far this year.
And now also maybe he replaces Jimmy Cordero for bicep supremacy in the Yankee bullpen.
You know what? Something I haven't thought about, Ryan, but I'm going to give that a little bit more thought. I'm sure Jeff will as well. But yeah, it's apparent.
I may skip that thought.
Yeah.
Meredith,
does he smile? Is everything
Occasionally.
serious?
He's very serious.
Okay.
A very nice man. Just wants to go out there, do his part, handle his business. But to get him on the roster, they had an option Johnny Brito, who pitched last night and pitched fairly well, pretty well last night. The last two starts he has had for the Yankees, he's looked good. So the Yankees are incredibly encouraged by that. But as we know, sometimes the roster a little bit of a numbers game, and Brito had options. The Yankees will likely need to slot in another starter before the All-Star break. That most likely will be Randy Vasquez. But anything can happen from now until then. And then they're also expecting to get Rodon back next homestand. So a lot of moving parts when it comes to pitching.
We also, Meredith, saw Aaron Judge out in the outfield playing catch. It's not the most seismic step towards returning, but something noteworthy at least.
Progress nonetheless, Ryan. Let's choose to be positive here. We know what Aaron Judge means to this team, both offensively and defensively. The offense has really struggled to fill that void since Judge has been on the injured list. And this is the first baseball activity that he has done, although it is minor, as you mentioned, since running into that wall at Dodger Stadium. He said he didn't really feel anything in his toe, so that's a positive sign. But there are so many steps he needs to take yet before he's back on the field for the Yankees. But that is a first step, so he'll do that again tomorrow and then possibly ramp things up a little bit more. But it's going to be a long process yet for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, take as many positive steps as you can get with the reigning MVP.
And I asked Aaron Boone, like, when he starts getting really excited about the realistic possibility of getting Judge back. And he said not till he sees him in the cage really swinging with authority, knowing that that back foot isn't a problem. That's going to be one of the biggest tests. And Aaron Judge said running. He still hasn't been able to fully walk around without feeling any pain, at least as of a few days ago. That was the case. So until he can do that and start running and really get in the batter's box, we are not going to have a timeline.
You know, something interesting involving not Judge, but people who are fans of Aaron Judge before the game. As that ball is popped up behind the plate, Higashioka makes the catch, 2 down. Justin Shackle and I were about to head up to the broadcast booth, and we saw a man carrying a huge box of cherries walking towards the Yankee clubhouse. And we said, whoa, what are those cherries? He said, you want some? I said, well, sure, but where are they from? And he said they're from the Linden, California Chamber of Commerce. They were sent for Aaron Judge from his hometown of Linden. They wanted the whole team to have the cherries. I got to tell you, the cherries were terrific.
Yeah.
They were great cherries.
Allegedly, the finest cherries in California come from Linden, Ryan. Who knew?
There you go. So I'm sure the Yankees are enjoying them. Justin and I enjoyed them.
Didn't bring any for your friends? Okay.
You know, I wasn't sure what was the appropriate amount to take before, you know, the Yankee players got to enjoy them.
Well, Ryan, if you have time, there is a cherry festival.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's a cherry festival. Well, it's already passed this year.
Well, put it in the calendar for 24.
But in quotes on the Chamber of Commerce page, Linden cherries are legendary, just like number 99, Aaron Judge.
See, tying it all together. Meanwhile, Germán has retired the first 6. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in left field tonight, and Jeff, he's been all over the diamond this season.
Well, when he didn't get or win the shortstop job in spring training, he just said, hey, I'll do whatever I can to get in the lineup, and he's been all over the place. And how about on the mound? Now, as good as the Yankee bullpen has been, the best ERA in baseball, you can't mess that up. You got to throw up a 0.
And he leads off here in the third, scoreless game, and skies that foul down the right field line.
I'm really happy I didn't participate in your conversation between you and Meredith
about the cherries. I don't know.
Yeah,
you were welcome to participate.
About the outfield, left field, center.
I know, 18 games in left, 32 in center. Is the 11 at third.
Played at second last night for the first time.
Yeah. Just got to get first base in the mix and catcher where he used to play.
Yes.
He's had a great spirit about him as well, and he has totally and completely embraced the role that he is in.
And it's been a really good transition. When you go from the infield to the outfield, it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah. He's done a nice job out there. 3-1 here on IKF. 7, 8, 9 in the Yankee order this inning. No base runners from either team thus far. And that ends there. As Kiner-Falefa works the leadoff walk. Higgy had a chance last night in the ninth with 2 on 2 out, struck out to end the game. Takes a big rip there, 0-1. Yankees waiting for their offense to get going. We've talked about the numbers at different times, but since Aaron Judge went down, the Yankees last in the majors in runs, batting average, and on-base percentage. Oh, 0-2.
Well, there's a huge hole over there in between first and second. Kemp playing more up the middle. You see him, he's close to the bag. 0-2 if you get something away. As Sears been pitching those last 2 sliders inside to Higgy.
Higashioka held up 1-2.
You see this little 4-seamer. Sears has done a nice job here through the first couple innings of changing the eye level of the Yankees. Breaking ball, change up down, and then he'll throw that 4-seamer upstairs.
Check on Kiner-Falefa. We were talking with Aaron Boone before the game about J.P. Sears and his thoughts on him. His time with the Yankees last year, and he said really good fastball and just a really good competitor. Love the way he would step up in the spot starts that he got. Thought he loved competition. He said what was interesting to him was in spring training last year, the 2 guys who jumped out and then made the roster, had an impact early, were Sears and Marinaccio.
Right.
And he said what held true for both of them is they had an unflappability that you could feel right away in the big leagues after they had shown their stuff in spring training. There goes Kiner-Falefa. Higashioka drives that in the air to right field and deep. Brown back, makes the catch, backpedaling on the track. And Kiner-Falefa scampers back to first, allowed first out here in the third.
Well, Higgy gave it a ride, got that 4-seamer upstairs and away, and he shot it to the right side. You see IKF taking off, and he just comes short of second base, has to get back on that catch by Brown.
Anthony Volpe steps in. 3-hit game last night. That is inside. Let's check out the Genesis Hitters Scouting Report.
Yeah, adjustments. You know, in the big leagues, as a young player, you're always constantly making adjustments, whether it's a game plan on how you're going to face the pitcher, positioning at shortstop. Well, he's done that and covering it. What I mean, those adjustments that he's made, he's covering the outside part of the plate, especially the last couple weeks. His last 12 games, .314 with 5 extra base hits. So last night he shot a ball to right field, fastball away. Every hitter has holes. It's just a matter of if a pitcher is going to expose that hole, whether it's down and away, up and in. His was down and away, and a lot of it on the plate, and now he's able to get to that pitch on the outside part.
Tried to take that one through the right side. Kemp knocks it down and throws out Volpe as Kiner Falefa advances to second.
Well, there's that pitch on the outside part. He just shoots it the other way. He sees that hole, and Kemp was playing up the middle. And Noda, the first baseman, had IKF on the bag, and you know, he tried to get it in there. There you see that pitch up and away, and that's a pitch that a couple weeks ago he wasn't able to hit.
Yeah. Right, didn't get the result, but liked the approach there. And since he closed the stands, courtesy of Austin Wells' advice, those are the numbers, or that's the moment that correlate with the numbers that Jeff was talking about, the plus 300 batting average over the last 12 games. Chance for LeMahieu, who lined out to right center his first time up. Which the diving catch that Ruiz made in the first had just a 40% catch probability.
He's pretty quick out there. He gets some good jumps out in center field.
The 2-0. And it's 3-0 on LeMahieu with Torres on deck. Three and one.
This might be another fastball. See if he gets a good swing on this one. 3-1.
Kiner Falefa leads off second, 2 out. And there is a slider that just catches the outside corner. 3-2.
Yeah, good slider away. He threw the fastball 3-0 and comes back with another breaking pitch. You wonder 3-2. Will he come back with that slider, or will you see a four-seamer upstairs?
The payoff popped up in the infield. Infielders converge, and the catch is made by Noda to end the inning and the threat. No score through 2.5. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today. Game 5, 2000 ALDS, 9th inning ball game. Yankees win after a disappointing Game 4 at the stadium. Hopped on the plane, came across the country, and won Game 5. And you know, I think we're gonna. I think when we go back to this in a moment, Jeff, I think we might see a familiar face celebrating amongst the Yankees. Oh, wait. Oh, look at that tall, handsome man.
He had a mustache back then, too. Same hairdo, though.
That's a man who sported a 2.65 career playoff ERA. That is tapped slowly to short. Volpe waits for it and throws across to nail Diaz. That game is a memorable one in your guys' championship runs because you've gotten crushed in Game 4 and then had to fly across the country without a day off to then go play Game 5 here in Oakland against that upstart young A's team.
And it was fitting the last out was Eric Chavez. And during batting practice, you know, they take the players to the interview room. Well, they took Eric Chavez to the interview room while we were out in the outfield and we were shagging balls and we were having batting practice. And the interview projected or they put it on the loudspeaker or the sound system so everybody could hear his interview. And he came out and he says, oh, you know, it's the Yankees are getting old. Because remember, we backed into the playoffs. We lost the last 6 games in a row of the season. 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays or Devil Rays back then, and then 3 in Baltimore before we had to come back out here.
Right, you were like 3-15
oh,
the
it was
final
awful.
18 or something. Yeah.
I think the Red Sox, whoever was in second place, wound up losing and we clinched. But he goes and says, hey, they're old, you know, the Yankees are getting old. It's our time. You know, we're a little younger. We're a little better than they are. And we're here. Listen to this. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then the visiting clubhouse guy, when we went in after batting practice, said, you guys are going to lose today. You guys are done. And he said it so everybody could hear. Well, you saw what happened. We won, and we might have celebrated a little extra because of the clubhouse guy, which is he's such a nice guy because I saw him yesterday for the first time in ages. They may have needed a power washer in the locker room, and you know the carpet was probably changed.
Is that why everybody still has to wear shower shoes there? Here's Connor Falefa battling the wind and hauls it in for the second out. The Febreze fresh stats on Esteuri Ruiz. 40 stolen bases through 81 team games. First major league player to do so since Billy Hamilton in 2015.
Do you know 41 stolen bases led baseball last year?
How amazing is that? What Ruiz is doing is and
well, the new rules
changes.
Yes,
this
changes
is
what they
to
wanted.
The game.
I like it. I like when you have the stolen bases. It's a lot more exciting.
Absolutely. A lot of research went into what are the most exciting plays that fans gravitate towards, and doubles, triples, stolen bases were top of the list. Yeah, Ricky Henderson Field.
He had a few stolen bases.
Just a couple. Looping liner right to Volpe. 9 up, 9 down for Domingo Germán. We go to the 4th, no score. battle of WNBA super teams as Breanna Stewart and the New York Liberty head west to face Asia Wilson and the defending champion Las Vegas Aces. Coverage begins at 10 o'clock on Yes and the Yes app. That is going to be the game thus far this season in the WNBA as Torres floats that down the right field line. Foul caught on the run by Brown for the first out. You saw those signs out in right field. The fans have made very clear their feelings about the A's moving to Las Vegas and have been very consistent and creative with the ways that they have delivered those messages.
It's going to be interesting what happens here, you know, as far as the A's even next year playing here in Oakland.
Nevada just recently improving $380 million in public funding for the A's stadium out there, and that was seen as sort of the nail in the coffin for the A's time here. Still an approval process that has to take place, though. But you feel for the fans, 56 years here and a lot of success as Rizzo cranks that foul. 2-2. With Philadelphia, hey, you had your 5 world championships. We know what happened in the Kansas City years and the way the Yankees feasted on some players from those teams. But then 1968 to the present, plus 500 winning percentage, 4 championships. There's a proud history here in Oakland. And these fans have had to endure quite a bit of roster reshaping as resources have not been fueled into the team.
Yeah, they've always had great teams. You know, I remember early 90s when I broke in, they always had really good teams. You know, Tony La Russa was the manager.
That ball is hit high in the air to left. Looking up is Ruocco. It is long gone. Giancarlo Stanton with a loud delivery in the 4th. A much needed delivery for he and the Yankees. And it's 1-0 Bombers.
Well, Sears got him with the fastball his first at bat. The 4-seamer up that he swung through. This was a first pitch fastball down, and he crushed it. Let's watch where this is. Down and in, and he smoked it.
Talked about Sears will give up the long ball.
Well, he got 2 quick outs. He got Rizzo with a hanging slider that he swung through, and this was a first pitch fastball.
First home run since June 13th at Citi Field for Giancarlo Stanton. 422 feet. First extra base hit since then as well. Bader now rips one deep to left field. Ruocco looks up. It's off the base of the wall. Harrison Bader with a 2-out double.
Well, another fastball that was mislocated by Sears. Another pitch supposed to be away. This was up. Bader got on top of it. No chance for Ruocco out there to catch it. He just wants to play it off the wall. A little 2-out rally for the Yankees. You know, home runs come in bunches, and Stanton's one of those players that he could carry you for a couple weeks, and you hopefully hope that's going to be the case. Him get hot again.
It's a great point, Jeff, because we have seen Stanton do that when he gets on a burner.
Great power to all fields.
Yep. And all of a sudden he'll hit 7 or 8 home runs in a 2 to 3 week span. Donaldson takes down and in 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Donaldson, 1-1. One and 2 on Donaldson.
See where this pitch is. Donaldson thought it was low. It was just in that little corner on that inside part. It was a strike.
1-2. Bader leads off second after the double. Donaldson chases and goes down on strikes, but the Yankees get on the board courtesy of Giancarlo Stanton. His 7th home run of the year. He needed it. They needed it. It's 1-0 Yankees. Check out and follow Yes Network on TikTok for more content. Bottom of the 4th, Domingo Germán working with a 1-0 lead after Giancarlo Stanton's towering home run to left. Germán has faced the minimum through 3 strikeouts. And there's a strike to Kemp. Kemp, after really struggling first couple of months of the season, has been locked in over the last couple of weeks. Grounds that wide of first foul.
Germán's got his good curveball back. Second time around the lineup. He could throw up a 0 after scoring in the top half. You establish that fastball he did early, and you start getting a feel of that, and then everything else falls in place. Start getting a good feel of that curveball, and that's what he has. A changeup.
The 1-2. That is turned on, rocketed deep to right. Stanton back with room, makes the catch for the first out of the 4th. A little smile from Giancarlo Stanton. Interesting too, Jeff, that he homers in a game in which he is in the field. We talked about that earlier. He has talked about the comfort he feels in games where he's in the outfield.
Well, he's got to be feeling pretty good now.
Yeah.
Got a good plan. Jumped on the first pitch he saw from Sears.
Noda struck out his first time up. Amongst the American League leaders in on-base percentage. Two one. Down 3-1. Just 43 pitches thus far for Germán, who has worked quickly and effectively. Outstanding curve there. Twisted Noda to his knees.
Yeah, it's a fastball count, 3-1. Noda was looking for a heater. You got a curveball, really good curveball. And that's Germán's done that pretty well here in the first 3 innings. He's gotten behind and he's got right back in the count with that curveball or the changeup.
There you go.
Have a hitter looking for that curveball again, you might be able to sneak a fastball by him.
Got him with the curve. He's now 0 for 7 against it with 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, this is nasty. Had a really bad swing on the 3-1, and then he throws another one, 3-2. Nice job reading the swings. That's what you want a guy to do, is read a swing. You know, sometimes they'll look really bad on some breaking pitches, and the next thing you know, you want to throw him a fastball.
Another good one.
Yeah, and you just mess up, and you might as well stay with that breaking ball. Like just right there, you know, really bad swing on a breaking ball. Might want to go a little further out, see if you can expand the zone, get another swing.
Went further out with a fastball.
Yeah, with a fastball. I mean, that time you could have expanded the zone a little bit more. When he looks that poorly on your breaking pitch.
Went around on the 4-seamer, 1-2. The 1-2. Back to the fastball, fouled straight back.
You know, right here, sometimes you wind up throwing too many pitches when you know, hey, all I had to do was throw a breaking ball and I can get a swing and a miss.
A 1-2. Back to the curve. Perez on deck. The 1-2. Ruocco able to stay alive.
Well, 2 curveballs. Yeah, we'll go ahead.
No bounce back outing thus far from Germán after back-to-back really rough starts. Swing and a miss. Got him with a curve. Germán has faced the minimum through 4. 1-0 Yankees. Top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Yankees lead. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Yanks. Connor Falefa leading off and takes strike one from former Yankee J.P. Sears. Sears coming to the A's in the Frankie Montas trade. 0-2 on IKF. Domingo Germán, 12 up, 12 down.
This looked really good. Looked really good at breaking ball. He's getting some swings and misses like he hasn't had in those last 2 starts.
Kiner Falefa held up. Walked his first time. Two and two. Sears a 2.93 ERA over his last 8 starts entering this one after he had struggled out of the gates this season, including May 8th at the stadium when he allowed 5 runs and 5 1/3 to the Yankees. And Kiner Falefa has worked it full. Popped up behind the plate and into the seats. The 3-2. And there's another walk for Kiner Falefa. Second of the night. Hey, time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture was submitted by the Holden family. Nice picture. Their son Harrison recently went to his first Yankees game. Got to see his favorite player, Harrison Bader, in person. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Fastball, 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 fastball. That was what Harrison Bader was just saying. Did not take an advanced degree in lip reading to produce that.
Oh, that was close. Nice at bat by IKF. Got behind 0-2. Laid off some really good sliders from Sears. Worked a walk. It's like the 3rd inning. Let's see if they can make something happen here.
2-1 now on Higashioka. Sears up to 73 pitches. Saw Kiner Falefa on the move at one point last time he was on the bases. Big rip from Higgy, 2-2.
Yeah, IKF 8 stolen bases, and you have that huge hole over there. This is a fastball. It looked like maybe Higgy was looking for that slider. Got behind on the fastball. See the hole over there on the right side. See if IKF can get a bigger lead. At least draw a throw over there to see his move. He only threw over there one time the last time IKF was on base.
The 2-2. Popped foul. That one will just be out of reach for Noda. Every foul ball here, if you're a hitter, you got to hold your breath because there's just so much space.
And if you're a fielder, if you're first baseman or third baseman, even the middle infield, you can't give up on the ball.
Yeah.
You can't assume all that's going to be out. A lot of times it'll fall in. A lot of ground for the infielders to cover, especially foul territory.
And there's the move as IKF is back safely.
You know, now with the disengagement rules, it's tough for lefties to use their not great move. It's almost like you got to show your good move right away. And Sears is slow to the plate. He might be able to get a good jump. A lot of guys go on first move with the lefty.
There he goes, and Higashioka rips it into left field. That's a base hit. Down into the corner. Kiner Falefa will score. It's an RBI double for Kyle Higashioka, and the Yankees take a 2-0 lead.
You saw Higgy swing through that fastball because he was looking for that slider. And that's exactly what he got. He got that slider, stayed with it, caught too much of the plate. IKF on the move. Hits it down the left field line for an RBI double. Outstanding at bat again by Higgy.
Here is Volpe with Higgy at second, nobody out. Volpe shows bunt, a push bunt, and a good one. Anthony Volpe is going to be safe at first. The toss goes wide. Higashioka will score, and Volpe is at second. It's 3-0 Yankees.
Well, he was bunting for a base hit. He didn't want to sacrifice Higgy over to third. Great idea to go towards the right side. You see, once they hit it just a little bit harder and try to get it past the pitcher. This is actually not a bad play by Sears. You see the first baseman, Noto, he goes back, and that's what you want to do. He just shoveled past it a little too hard. You see him, he grabs it and throws it past Noda. Nice job by Volpe, just thinking about, hey, I'm going to bunt for a base hit.
Yeah.
I'll get a sack out of it, but I'll push it past the pitcher. Just was hit just a little too light. Same result.
So Volpe gets a single, no RBI. It's an E1 on Sears that allows Volpe to advance to second and the run to score. He likes some of the little things you've seen from Anthony Volpe over these last couple of games. Volpe taking off for third. High pitch. Volpe is safe. 16th stolen base for the Yankee rookie.
Well, he got a tremendous jump. Watch this. This is how he runs. He'll get a couple hops and then takes off. And then again, you see the A's. You watch Bride over there third. They block the base. You see that knee go down. And Volpe, he slides head first. And we talked about this last night, that if you want to eliminate infielders blocking the bag, you go feet first. Little spike in the knee or the thigh, that'll end the blocking of the bases.
Infield in here, nobody out, and Volpe at third. Think about, so Volpe steals third there. You love the bunt that he beats it out. Action now in the A's pen. Last night saw a couple line drives up the middle, line drive to right.
Takes a while. He's a young player. He's a rookie. You know, he's had a lot of support from all the coaches. Aaron Boone.
Base hit left field. LeMahieu drives in Volpe, and it's 4-0 Yankees.
Now LeMahieu got a 2-0 changeup. I think it broke his bat. And with the infield in, it just gets over the infield. Little base hit RBI. You see this changeup down. Watch, he hits it off the end of the bat. It breaks his bat. But with the infield in, that's a base hit and an RBI.
So the Yankees have put up 3 runs in this 5th, which feels like a deluge with the way the offense has struggled lately.
Well, we talked about stringing some things together, right? Stringing some hits together. You look at Anthony Volpe, you know, he's had such great support, and when you're a young player and you have such great support from your teammates, the front office, the coaching staff, they're patient, ownership, been very patient with them. He's going to be a superstar in this league, and he's starting to feel it. You know, it takes a while sometimes for rookies.
Torres takes a strike.
You know, the adjustments with his swing. When he gets on the bases, he's dangerous anyway. I mean, and he's a very good shortstop.
I was talking to him the other day, just after he made the adjustments that he had, and how he was feeling, and he said, I'm definitely seeing the ball better. Said, I still have to get my timing down a little bit. And I think now over these last few games, Jeff, we've seen the timing start to get down as well.
And he's also going to right field. You know, when hitters start struggling, a lot of times they get pull happy and they pull off the ball. When they let the ball travel a little bit, or they take that pitch on the outside part and they take it to right field, then they start, that swing starts coming. Then the confidence starts building at the plate.
The 1-2. 2-2 on Torres. Sears coasted through the Yankee order first time through, but second trip through, and now the third, a different story. Now the count is full on Torres. Stanton started the scoring with a solo homer in the fourth. Yankees with 3 runs in thus far in the fifth. The 3-2. Ball 4. Torres works a walk. First and second, nobody out. Hey, fans, go to AgS Network on Twitter and vote for the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. Anthony Rizzo, Billy McKinney, and Tommy Kahnle are your choices. Tommy's funny. I was talking to him in the dugout in the clubhouse today, and I said, "You looked good last night." He said, "No." I said, "Why?" He said, "I gave up a hit." I said, "Well, you know, you did coast through the seventh. You made
crazy.
You gave up 1 hit. You gave up a single then when you stayed in for 1 extra batter the next inning." He said, "Yeah, that ruined the outing for me."
10 2/3 scoreless, I think, so far.
Yep.
Coming back off the IL.
Rizzo, big rip, fouls it straight back. Rizzo was on base quite a bit last night. A double and 2 walks. One and one.
Well, you can see J.P. Sears against lefties. You pretty much eliminate that changeup. He doesn't throw it to lefties. He'll go fastball, slider. When that slider's not working for him, you can take that one away as well. Maybe Rizzo gets another fastball.
Got a fastball. Fouled it down the left field line.
With Rizzo crowding the plate, when hitters crowd the plate, it's really tough to be able to throw that breaking ball for strikes. J.P. Sears is having a hard time throwing that slider for a strike because Anthony is so on top of the plate.
The 1-2. Fouled straight back. See the numbers against lefties for Rizzo this season. He has mashed. The 1-2. Stays alive. You would think this is the last hitter for J.P. Sears. Action in the A's pen, and
yeah, I would think so. If he doesn't get Anthony Rizzo out, this is going to be it.
Righty standing on deck. Who homered his last time up. The 1-2. Rizzo grounds it to first under the glove of Noda. Everybody's safe. That'll be an E3, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out.
Noda just didn't stay down on that ball. You'll see the ground ball. It's a slider. Actually hung up there. You watch Noda, he goes to his right, just doesn't stay down, doesn't get the hop. Nice job by Anthony beating that ball out. See, he just doesn't stay down.
So that'll do it for Sears. Stanton coming up. Bases loaded, nobody out. 3 runs already in the 5th. Cloud, Giancarlo Stanton's 4th inning home run, 111 miles per hour off the bat, 422 feet.
About another one. First pitch fastball.
4-0 Yankee lead. Shintaro Fujinami into the game for the A's. The ERA is sizable. Ball 1 to Stanton.
Yeah, he has really struggled for the A's, and he was a starter and got lit up as a starter and as a reliever the same way. His fastball, he's got a good one, 97 to 99, slider, cutter, and that split.
2-0 on Stanton.
He's really had a hard time throwing strikes. 30 walks in 38 1/3 innings.
Oof. That's an extraordinary amount of walks. The 2-0. Ripped base hit into left field. 1 run will score. Here comes Torres. Stumbled, regained his footing. 2 runs in. Big night for Stanton. And it's 6-0 Yankees.
Well, he was patient after a couple fastballs that missed from Fujinami. Got another one, and this was down. You look where this pitch was. It was down on the inner half. And with the infield in, you see where the A's infield is playing. Got past shortstop Diaz. A base hit, 2 RBIs.
Just a monster inning from the Yankees when they desperately needed the offense to break out. Their pitching is so good that if they just put up a little bit offensively, they usually win. They're 34-9 this year when they score 4 runs or more. Now, a minute ago, Domingo Germán went to go throw in the Yankee bullpen. He's got to stay loose. This has been a long 5th inning. And remember, Germán is not allowed a base runner yet. This is almost a 20-minute inning, and there are still no outs.
It's a long time, and it's chilly out, too. So,
yeah,
you either go up in the clubhouse and stay warm. There's really no heat down in that dugout.
By the way, that base hit from Stanton looked like it was hit pretty hard, right?
114?
115.4.
Wow. There you go.
Bader out in front, 2-2. Everybody's been involved here in the 5th for the Yankees. A 2-2. And it's full on Bader. Inning started with a Kiner-Falefa walk where he battled back. Then an RBI double from Higgy. A bunt single from Volpe. A LeMahieu ribby single. A Torres walk. The Stanton 2-run single. And the inning continues. Bader down on strikes.
Well, there's a little cutter. I don't know if that was a cutter or a splitter, but it went down, and it's a nasty pitch when he's throwing it for strikes. And it's one thing that Fujinami's had a hard time with his fastball location, and he hasn't been able to throw off speed over for strikes. That splitter and also that slider and the cutter.
Big rip and a miss. 0-1. 100 miles an hour there.
It was good hack. Get a first pitch fastball and let it go.
Donaldson 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts. He is without a hit with runners in scoring position thus far this season.
I would imagine he's going to see that cutter or that splitter again. He's not going to give him another fastball to hit.
There was the split. Kiner-Falefa, who started the inning, on deck. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Donaldson now 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position this season.
Well, he got a first pitch fastball he swung through, and then 3 straight splitters, and that was a hanging splitter, but it was just enough.
And you could hear boos here in Oakland from the Yankee fans in the stands, and there are quite a few of them. Yankees have battered around with Kiner-Falefa coming to the plate. He grounds one through into right field, a base hit. Rizzo rounding third. He's headed home. He will score. It's an RBI single from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and the Yankee lead is now 7-0.
Well, the Yankees hitters are being aggressive on the first pitch, just like Stanton. Well, IKF is doing the same thing. A little first pitch fastball. He just punches it to the right side. It wasn't hit very hard, but it did the job.
There's a strike to Higashioka. Feels like a month worth of runs in this inning.
It may have been pretty close. What were they averaging? A little over 2 runs?
3, yeah, 3 flat. Higashioka pops out, and that finally ends the inning. The Yankees sent 11 batters to the dish, score 6. It's 7-0. here at the Oakland Coliseum. It's 7-0, bottom of the 5th inning. After a 6 spot in the 5th, a 24-minute half inning, and now Germán, who has been dealing, back to work. He has retired the first 12 A's that he has faced. We'll see 4, 5, and 6 in Oakland's order. As Perez lofts that to right. Stanton there, 1 out. Let's listen to Aaron Boone on the Yankees offense pregame.
Offense especially, it's a game of failure, even when it's going well. And then when you're taking your lumps, and you're taking your lumps a little bit as a group, you got to be disciplined and stubborn to that process of making sure you're ready to go and prepared and working on the things you need to, but also having a little bit of little kid when you walk out there of going and playing the game.
Loved that answer from Aaron Boone to Meredith's question about, she asked him, well, what do you say to the offense? What's the message right now to the offense as you continue to struggle like this? The other thing he talked about was just make sure you continue to do your work, have your game plan, prepare, but when you get on the field, just go compete. And Jeff talked about how when you're going through those struggles, sometimes, yeah, I mean, it can affect your habits, so you got to make sure to stay disciplined to that.
Well, when he said go out there and play a little like a little kid, you know, when you're struggling, it's not fun.
Yeah.
You know, baseball's a grind. This sport is a grind. And, you know, just like hitting's contagious, how it just goes up and down the lineup. When one guy hits, everybody else hits. Well, slumping's the same way. When one guy slumps.
Hit hard on the backhand. Rizzo to stop the flip, and Germán is there. Mark that one down. Anthony Rizzo makes it 14 up, 14 down thus far.
Well, this is that changeup. It caught too much of the plate, but outstanding job. Well, look at this effort by Anthony Rizzo going to his left. Little sidearm. Nice job, little 3-1 put out.
Just 1 3-ball count thus far tonight for Domingo Germán, whose pitch count is in outstanding shape. Hit hard, foul.
But when one guy slumps, the next guy says, okay, I got to be even better. And then that guy slumps. And then the next one, oh, I got to be even better. You're not making excuses. And I don't want to make excuses for struggling offenses, but it's, you know, it happens. It's not fun when it happens, and it's not fun when it carries out through the whole entire month of June. But this is a road trip that, yeah, you know what? You hated the loss. It was a disappointing loss last night. You only score 1 run. This is a road trip that they could really start getting things going. I mean, you have Baltimore at home, and then the Cubs to finish up the first half.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Domingo Germán has not allowed a base runner through 5. We go to the 6, 7-0 Yankees. awesome what Cincinnati's doing, Chris. Meanwhile, Luis Ariz up to .399 in the season. Look at his last 10 games. Shohei Ohtani just silly what he did last night. 2 homers, 10 strikeouts in the Mets. You saw their struggles. Top of the 6th inning, Yankees 7, A's nothing. Anthony Volpe added a little flair to the Yankees' 6-run 5th with a push bunt single. Also had a stolen base. Volpe lines that into right center field. Ruiz on the run, won't get there. Nobody will. Volpe turns on the Jets. He's in easily with a double.
Like a little miscommunication out in the outfield for the A's between Brown and Ruiz. I don't know if Brown was looking for Ruiz to catch this, but another pitch that Volpe goes the other way. Watch Brown. He'll hold up thinking he looks right at Ruiz. I don't know if anybody's going to catch it, but a little miscommunication. That's a leadoff double. And how about the job that Germán did in the bottom of the 5th? After 24 minutes, you said?
Yeah.
A little 1-2-3, and the A's are back in the field.
That one skips away, and Volpe is going to dance to third.
Well, this is just a lawn dart splitter. About a 56-footer. It hits over the head of Langoliers. No chance to stop that one. Would have hit him in the head. Well, the A's have the infield in. With nobody out, you're probably going to wait for the ball to get through the infield. There's Volpe at third. Usually with 1 out, you'll go on contact. Nobody out. You'll wait for the ball to get through the infield before you take off.
2-0. In there for a strike.
That's a tough pitch right there. You know, he's been all over the place. Fujinami. Moscoso hasn't called that pitch down there either.
The 2-1. LeMahieu chases 2-2.
This was slider down and away. See, Fujinami has that pitch comm on the back of his glove, so he'll call his pitches and relay them to Langoliers.
LeMahieu smokes it, but right at third. And Bride makes the catch. Volpe, that's what you do. You freeze on a line drive, gets back.
Little hanger, and LeMahieu smoked it. There, Volpe gets back. Nice job.
Germán in the dugout, 15 up, 15 down. I wonder when he starts thinking about what's going on as Torres flicks that into shallow right. Running catch is made by Brown and not deep enough for Volpe to score as Torres is retired. 2 down.
Another broken bat. Inside fastball to Torres. Luis Rojas, the third base coach, going down the line, holding Volpe.
Rizzo reached on a fielder's choice E3 in the 5th. Came around to score on Kiner Falefa's RBI single in a 6-run 5th for the Yankees. Yankees 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position tonight. 333. 3-0 on Rizzo. Stanton on deck has already homered tonight. Also blistered a 2-run single. There's a strike. The 3-1. 100 miles an hour on the outside corner. 3-2.
Yeah, 2 fastballs, and Rizzo's probably kicking himself after this one. The one before was right down the middle. It might have been off just a little bit. He got the call.
Volpe leads off third. The 3-2. Popped up in the infield. Bride hanging with it. Makes the catch. Germán coming back out.
Been outstanding in that breaking ball. We talked about the swings and misses, where there's that breaking ball down and away to a righty. Another strikeout, a good changeup as well. He's established that fastball. That's nasty right there. And then how about expanding his zone? Another curveball away. 6 punch outs. He's been outstanding.
Stats with lows. Yeah, it can't look better than it's looked thus far for Domingo Germán, as he deals ball 1 to Aledmys Diaz. 7-8-9 in the A's order here in the 6th, as Germán has retired all 15 A's he has faced thus far.
Well, you know, he's done a really nice job of when he's gotten behind and he's gotten back in the count with his curveball right there. He's behind 1-0 through a changeup. Get back in the count, even it up.
Lifted in the air to left. Kiner Falefa there. 1 down here in the 6th. I shot a text to our good friend and colleague David Cohn. Just asked him, when did you start thinking about what you did on July 18th, 1999? And he said, now.
He did now?
End of the 5th.
Well, this is where you really, you know, you treat this, if you're Domingo Germán, you treat this game like it's 0-0 or 1-0. You know, you can't relax. You know, sometimes you relax, you get a big lead. You know, realize what you're doing, realize where you are.
The 0-1. Puts a little more pressure on all the Yankee defenders. We know there's a long way to go still, but you're in the 6th inning.
Well, when David threw his, everybody treated him like he had a sickness, and everybody moved away because the dugout, the seats were, it was a bigger dugout.
Yeah.
He could move and let him be by himself. And I think he said, he goes, I was wondering why is everybody leaving me alone? Can somebody please talk to me? Well, in this dugout, you can't go anywhere. There's too many people.
The 1-2. Germán has gone to a 3-ball count just once thus far tonight. That was on Ryan Noda in the 4th. That's it.
Pitch count's looking good. 69 pitches.
The 1-2. He got him. 2 down in the 6th.
Well, you love the combination. The curveball, he threw his fastball up, and then another breaking ball. A little swing and miss.
17 up, 17 down thus far for Domingo Germán.
Well, you got to watch here. You don't want to see it, but if you are Josh Donaldson, the 3rd baseman, you've got to be aware of Ruiz, who runs well. And
strike 1. Yankees leading it 7-0, bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 from Germán. Lined foul. And it's 1-2.
Nice catch. The ball boy down there protecting the pitchers. The shot. There you go.
Well done.
I think that palm's feeling too good right now, but it's a nice catch.
And you're right, he's got an important job right there.
Yeah, he does. You got the bullpen coach there, and also the reliever getting up.
The 1-2. He got him. If you're still up with us, stay up with us. Domingo Germán, 18 up, 18 down. We go to the 7th. This 3-game set with the Oakland A's. Coverage begins at 3 o'clock Eastern with the pregame. Then first pitch will be just after 3:30 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. Ryan Ruocco, Jeff Nelson, Meredith Marakovitz with you, and that man has faced the minimum through 6. He has retired all 18 batters that have stepped to the plate for Oakland. 8 strikeouts for Domingo Germán. Pitch count is in outstanding shape.
Well, usually you see a lot of space when this stuff happens between the pitcher. Everybody leaves him alone. So
yeah.
Don't talk to him. But you can't do it. So you can't do it in there. Well, there's a lot more people probably on a lot more guys on the other side of the dugout.
Yeah, there's not a lot of space to navigate.
No.
In that Oakland dugout. Been a big night for Stanton. Solo homer. And a 115-mile-an-hour 2-run single. Rios, the new pitcher for the A's. Just his 3rd game.
He's got a big fastball too, 96, 98 slider, and he's got a split. Doesn't throw the split too often. He might have a little blister on his finger. Looking at it down at his hand.
Well, Domingo Germán has already dealt with a 24-minute half inning from the Yankees in their 6-run 5th, and he's going to have to deal with another delay here.
Yeah, I don't think that was a blister. You see this last pitch.
So Rios is gone with an apparent injury. A's have to go to the pen. #1 pharmacist recommended memory support brand. We know this date, July 18th, 1999. David Cone making Yankee history, baseball history.
Against the Expos, that was incredible. The year before, David Wells.
And Domingo Germán has retired all 18 batters that he has faced thus far tonight in Oakland. And has to endure another long delay after the injury to Rios. Austin Pruitt will get as much time as he needs to warm up for Oakland.
But yeah, this is tough, right? The 24-minute.
Yeah, but you talked about it, Jeff.
5th inning.
He handled that bottom of the 5th swimmingly.
He did.
After the 24-minute top of the 5th where the Yankees scored 6 runs.
And they're talking to him too. Usually you leave him alone, but see Matt Blake.
The start itself is incredible for Germán. When you think about the way the last 2 outings have gone, he got absolutely tattooed his last 2 starts. And here he is, navigating without flaw thus far tonight. We've seen some dominant performances throughout the season, but a lot of up and down throughout his career as well. But thus far this evening, he has been immaculate.
Yeah, any pitcher wants consistency, and then, you know, you look at the 2 outings before the 2 rough starts. He was outstanding, only giving up 1 run in those 2, going into the 6th inning and going into the 7th inning against the Dodgers, and then he lays 2 eggs. And this is a great bounce back. A lot of swings and misses from his breaking ball.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Well, in case you needed a little more time to think about what you're doing, Domingo Germán is getting that on the bench while Pruitt got ready. He's good to go now and starts things off with a 3-0 count on Stanton after the injury to Rios. And Stanton works the walk. 3rd time Stanton's been on base tonight.
And that should go on Rios after he threw those 3 pitches, the 3-0 count. See Cabrera pinch running for Stanton. Nice job for Stanton tonight. Outstanding.
And you wonder if this game doesn't unlock him and send him off on a burner.
Also, you get Cabrera out in right field. A little bit better defense.
Bader loops that into shallow right. That'll get down for a base hit. Cabrera will scoot to 3rd. 2nd hit of the night for Harrison Bader. Yankees set up 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Yeah, real good read by Cabrera. You just hops off of 1st, gets about halfway, and sees it's just off the end of the bat by Bader. Sees that it's going to get right in front of Brown, the right fielder. Watch Cabrera. He'll go about halfway, and then he sees that ball is going to drop, and then he takes off.
Here's Josh Donaldson, 0 for 3 strikeouts tonight. And there's ball 1. Donaldson snapped an 0 for 15 last night with a solo home run. One and 1. Donaldson 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position this season, with 8 strikeouts in those 15 at bats. The 2-1, 2-2. The 2-2. Scott in the air to right center. Ruiz over to make the catch. Tagging and scoring is Cabrera. It's a sacrifice fly for Donaldson, and the Yankee lead is 8-0.
Spectrum One is fast, secure, and reliable. internet for $49.99 a month, free advanced Wi-Fi, and a free mobile line. Restrictions apply. Visit Spectrum.com for details.
Here is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. 2 walks, a single, a run, and RBI tonight. Chopped wide of third. Went around. Might be one of the rare times the Yankees are okay with that being called a swing.
Right. Domingo Germán, you're probably saying, can we get this inning over with so I can get back out there?
Well, Kiner-Falefa may have just obliged. He did. 6-4-3 double play. Germán 18 up, 18 down. Will face 1-2-3 in the A's order in the bottom of the 7th. And 2 for the A's. You see what Jack just talked about. Domingo Germán 18 up, 18 down, just 74 pitches thus far. Big night for Giancarlo Stanton. And now Germán will deal with the pesky Tony Kemp to lead off the 7th. 0-1.
Well, it's the 3rd time around the lineup. Curveball leading off. He's had a really good curveball tonight.
Popped up, shallow right center. Bader coming in, 1 down. You know, these outs, the toughest to get when you are chasing history the way Domingo Germán is right now.
Now, I wonder who feels the pressure more, the fielders or Germán? Everything hit to them? Are they holding their breath?
Here's Noda. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. Jack mentioned only 1 3-ball count. It was Noda who was in the batter's box for it back in the 4th. Popped into foul ground. A lot of room off of 3rd, but that one will make the seats. And it's 0-2.
Well, that's an advantage as well to have all this foul territory. Stealing out somewhere in the foul ground.
Cabrera replacing Stanton in right. Germán has been in total command. One notable defensive play in this game, a backhanded diving stop by Rizzo in the 5th.
And with the pitch count, I mean, the time clock, and also the hitter's only allowed to step out once.
Swing and a miss. 2 away in the 7th. 20 up and 20 down for Domingo Germán.
Well, here's that nasty curveball. That's filthy. It's like a backup, that was. You don't mean to throw it. A little frustration, a little hat trick from Noda.
You talked about the pressure on the defense, Jeff. How about on the catcher?
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Higashioka in complete sync tonight with Domingo Germán. A little shake here, though, from Germán. Knows what he wants. And delivers strike 1 to Brent Ruocco.
Well, you don't have, the hitter doesn't have the ability to slow and try to mess up the pitcher. When you can only call 1 timeout, you have the pitch clock.
Grounded to short. Volpe fields, fires to the 8th. We go. 21 up, 21 down for Domingo Germán. Working his way to Domingo Germán has been immaculate through 7 innings, 21 up, 21 down, 9 strikeouts, and the pitch count in outstanding shape. Just 82 pitches for Germán, who is 6 outs away from history. Eight, 9, and 1 in the Yankee order. And Higashioka with a 1-1 count.
Yeah, I wonder what the hitters feel as well. You see Domingo, he put on his jacket. I guess he forgot when he sat down. He's so excited. But I wonder what they feel as well. It's like, oh, do we try to make outs to try to get him back on the mound?
Higashioka makes one there, 1 down. Well, that's been one of the really impressive parts about what Germán has done tonight, Jeff, is he has dealt with a couple of long delays. The Yankees had a 24-minute top of the 5th in which they scored 6 runs. Germán at one point went down to the bullpen to throw a few pitches, and then last inning the A's had an injury on the mound. There's Volpe swinging first pitch. Kemp fires in time. Nice play. Volpe is retired. 2 down. Hey, congratulations to John Roloff, winner of a brand new 2023 Hyundai Tucson in the Hyundai Salute to Heroes contest. And thanks to all the everyday heroes for helping those in need. You're making the world better for everyone. And John may be getting more attention than he's used to, popping up right now.
Well, Germán is too. Matt Blake just continues to talk to him. Usually don't see that.
So 2 quick outs, to your point, Jeff, from the Yankee offense here in the top of the 8th. Check swing from LeMahieu, 1-1. Here's a look at what the pregame run total was for our game when it started, courtesy of FanDuel. The numbers can change with every pitch, so now let's see what the live total is at this very moment. Right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to start making every moment more. Squibb to second. Kemp will toss out LeMahieu. Germán goes back to work, having faced the minimum through 7. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Domingo Germán has been spotless. He has retired all 21 batters that he's faced. Now will face 4, 5, 6 in the A's order. And Perez takes strike 1. Pitch count in incredible shape for Domingo Germán, who has been pumping strike 1 all night. Popped up, right side, Rizzo. 1 away in the 8th.
Every defensive play, you're seeing the guys just to go a little bit extra with that glove. You saw that catch by Rizzo, stabbing at it just a little bit extra, not letting it come down, like nice and relaxed. You know everybody out there is all tensed up.
5 outs away from history. Seth Brown grounds it foul.
Well, you mentioned a common theme is first pitch strikes. He's been getting ahead of guys. That breaking ball has been one of the best I think he's had all year.
The 0-1. Cued weakly to third. Donaldson. 2 outs in the 8th.
Fans are starting to get into it. I think they realize as well.
Jonah Bride 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. And we have a baseball that got loose from the A's bullpen. And Kiner Falefa had to go out and toss it into the crowd. That is not the cadence breaker you want right now if you're Germán. Ball one. The 1-0. Missed inside, 2-0. Has not worked behind in the count much tonight. There's a strike, 2-1.
And he's been doing that tonight as well. When he gets behind, and it hasn't been often, he's gone to that curveball or that changeup to get him back into the count.
The 2-1. Missed in just the second 3-ball count of the night for Domingo Germán. History riding on this pitch. The 3-1. In there for a strike, 3-2. The payoff. Another 3-2. Grounded to third. Donaldson across the diamond. Rizzo holds on the bag. Domingo Germán unblemished through 8 in Oakland. Brought to you in part by Western Beef Supermarkets. Think fresh, save big. By the New York Lottery, get out there and play. Please play responsibly, must be 18 or over. And by Suffolk Credit Union, empowering your possible. Well, you see the different historical moments on the mound in Yankees history. And Domingo Germán is 3 outs away from etching his name into Yankee lore forever. He has faced 24 hitters. He has retired them all. And what a story. Germán booed off the mound his last start. 10 runs allowed. Trying to make sure he stays in this rotation. And has come out tonight and been spotless through 8.
There's been times, you look back at last year and years past, that he's been their most consistent guy in the rotation, and then all of a sudden he'll lay eggs, and you're wondering, okay, well, which Germán are we getting? Then he comes out and he's dominant again.
Interesting in these moments, Jeff. You talked about it last inning, but as a Yankee hitter, are you almost okay with a quick at bat?
Well, it's got to be tough to focus when you're at the plate and you know what's going on in the field. You know, I was a part of a couple of them, David Wells and David Cohn, and you're out in the bullpen and you're doing the same thing. You don't want to mess up your routine at all. You sit in the same place, you're talking to the same guy. You don't get up.
Torres goes around, one down here in the ninth. And Germán, so he's taking a walk back towards the Yankee clubhouse.
He went into the bathroom.
Time to take care of that. You got other business in the bottom of the ninth.
A little excited.
These at bats right now a sideshow to what everybody is anticipating in the bottom of the inning. Business taken care of. And Germán back out on the bench. Rizzo stays alive. Jeff, what do you remember thinking in those late innings on May 17th, 1998 and on July 18th, 1999?
Your gut starts hurting because you start getting a little nervous for David Wells and also Coney. Like my gut's hurting right now. I mean, you don't. It's funny because it's like that superstition that you just don't talk about it. You do the same thing. You're sitting in the same spot. Maybe you get a drink of water and you're sitting on the edge of your seat, holding your breath every time the ball gets hit.
First at bat of the game for Oswaldo Cabrera, who pinch ran for Stanton in the seventh. Line drive, base hit left field. Rizzo will park at second. It's a single for Cabrera, and the Yankees with first and second, one out.
He gets a pitch upstairs, and it's nice to see. Get on top of a fastball and poke at the left field for a base hit.
In case you're just joining us, you woke up in the middle of the night. 24 up, 24 down for Domingo Germán. 3 outs away from forever. Last time a Yankee was this close, you have to go back to September 2nd, 2001, Fenway Park. Mike Mussina.
Was it really?
Yep.
You cold?
It's a little chilly up here.
You mean this game, the way the things are going, is not like warming you up?
Could be the adrenaline you see.
Think so?
Making the bones rattle. 2 on, 1 out. 2-2 on Bader. The Yankees with an 8-0 lead in the top of the 9th. Bader tops it to third. That's a fair ball going to second, and wide on the throw was Bride. Rizzo will score on the E5, and it's 9-0 Yankees.
Well, Bader might even get a base hit on this, and this is a play Bride probably should have just ate. There was no way you were going to get Cabrera at second. Little high chopper, it backs him up. Little wide throw. You weren't getting Cabrera at second anyway, and you weren't going to get Bader at first. Would have been better just to put that in your back pocket.
Germán waits a little longer to try and complete history. Donaldson 0 for 3 tonight, 3 strikeouts and a sac fly.
And he's probably thinking, are you kidding me? Another long inning?
Dealt with a 24-minute top of the 5th in which the Yankees scored 6 runs. Germán actually went out to the Yankee bullpen and threw a few warm-up tosses during it. Donaldson hammers that to left field. That'll one off the wall. Volpe will score. Cabrera will score. Heading to third is Bader. It's an RBI double for Josh Donaldson. And the Yankees have put up double digits tonight in Oakland. It's 10-0.
We got a breaking ball just hung out over the plate, and he crushed it down the left field line. One hop the wall. Donaldson 2 RBIs tonight.
You got to imagine right now, Jeff, there's conflicted feelings in that dugout about this offensive inning for the Yankees in the top of the 9th. That is who Germán will have to go through in the bottom of the inning.
Well, some guys needed it. You know, you look at Cabrera, he needed that hit. You know, Donaldson needed that double, needed that RBI. You got the sac fly in the 7th. Another RBI there. That's, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's like a sword. You want to get back out in the field and have Germán not have another long inning, but at the same time you want to start collecting hits and start feeling good at the plate.
Here's Kiner Falefa, couple of walks and RBI single tonight. (24 up, 24 down thus far for the A's this evening. Meanwhile, the Yankees have had the biggest offensive outburst we have seen since Aaron Judge's injury. Top to short. Bader will trot home and score. Kiner Falefa thrown out. Yankee lead is 11-0, 2 down now in the top of the 9th. We will stay right here at the end of this top of the 9th.
I know Aaron Judge means a lot to this lineup, and he's a superstar, but this lineup is very capable of No, it doesn't have to be 11 runs. But it doesn't have to be one either. They're very capable of putting up some runs and winning games. A lot of talent in this lineup.
Provided plenty of support for Domingo Germán tonight, who is 3 outs away from history.
He's ready. He's got the jacket off.
He's had to wait 10+ minutes here in the top of the 9th, as the Yankees have added a little more offense. He's really perfected his stretching tonight.
He's got to be nice and loose, right? It's been he probably doesn't even know what to do with himself.
Line to right field. Here we go. To the bottom of the 9th with Domingo Germán 3 outs away from history. Wells and David Cone in Yankees history. 93 pitches, no worries there. 9 strikeouts. The defense has really only been tested twice tonight. A nice backhanded play by Rizzo for the 2nd out of the 5th. And then the final out of the 8th, Rizzo keeping his foot on the bag on an across the diamond throw from Josh Donaldson. Baseball has not had a night like this since Felix Hernandez in 2012. Can Domingo Germán join him? It'll be 7-8-9 in the A's order. Aledmus Diaz 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out to lead off. Ball 1. One and 2 on Diaz. Grounded up the middle. Volpe is there. 2 outs away. Shea Langoliers, the catcher, 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out and a strikeout. Fly ball, shallow center, Bader in. Buckle up. Domingo Germán, 1 out away from forever. Uri Ruiz stands in his way. Grounded to third. Donaldson has it. There it is! Perfection for Domingo Germán! Domingo Germán has thrown the 24th perfect game in baseball history. The 4th perfect game in Yankees history. And you will always remember where you were June 28th of 2023.
He did it. Wow. Oh my gosh, that was so incredible to watch. Good for him. An incredible outing. The defense, outstanding. How about Higgy? What a game, oh my gosh. Great call, man. Great call. That was amazing. You did an awesome job.
Unbelievable to witness this history tonight. Domingo Germán, who was no guarantee to make the Yankees rotation out of spring, who has been suspended during this year, who is coming off back-to-back starts where he struggled so mightily you wondered if he was pitching for his spot in the rotation tonight. And he delivers a perfect game at the Oakland Coliseum.
Simply incredible on the way that he turned it around after the Seattle start, and then comes into Oakland, a much-needed win, and he delivers a perfecto.
A pristine game called by Higashioka. The reaction from Germán's teammates. Meredith Barakovitz, take it away.
Ryan, I tried to, but they had something else in mind. Nestor Cortez starting it. Wow is right, Domingo. 27 up, 27 down. Tonight you became a part of baseball history, pitching the 24th perfect game. Can you describe the emotions you're feeling right now?
27 bateadores, 27 outs, el juego perfecto, number 20, el número 24 en la historia del béisbol. ¿Qué se siente? ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Qué emociones sientes?
Muy emocionado. Es algo lógico. Puedo decir que mi carrera hizo un logro de los más grandes que se existe en el béisbol. Es algo muy emocionante, de verdad. Siempre lo soñé y gracias a Dios hoy en día lo cumplí y me lo viviré toda la vida.
So exciting. You know, when you think about something very unique in baseball, you know, and not many people have an opportunity to pitch a perfect game, to accomplish something like this in my career. You know, it's something that I'm going to remember forever, be part of history. So exciting.
Take me through that final pitch, that final out.
El último out, el último bateador, ¿verdad? El último picheo. ¿Qué está pasando en ese momento?
El último inning es la presión más grande que uno puede sentir. Uno no quiere fallar el picheo, uno quiere visualizar cada conteo. Es lo más presión que he podido sentir en mi carrera, ese último inning completo.
Yeah, that last inning was very different. Very different. You know, I felt an amount of pressure that I've never felt before. You know, I'm trying to visualize what I want to execute there. At the same time, I don't want to miss. You know, so So much pressure, but yet so rewarding.
I saw you take a minute or two on the mound. How did you manage that pressure in the ninth?
¿Y cómo manejaste esa presión? ¿Verdad? ¿En qué te enfocaste?
No trata de hacer más, seguir lo que seguir enfocado como comencé la primera entrada, no trata de tirar más duro ni de hacer más, simplemente ejecutar cada lanzamiento y mantener la consistencia y el balance de cada lanzamiento.
Yeah, I think the key there was not to overthrow. You know, like I mentioned before, I was feeling the pressure in that inning, but at the same time, I wanted not to overthrow, keep the same focus from the first inning, understand the lanes of attack that we were using during the game, and keep executing.
When did you start thinking about it?
¿En algún momento te pasó por la mente? ¿Cuándo te pasó por la mente?
Todo el juego. Lo sabía y si tenía que mantener ese enfoque y ese balance en todo el juego.
Throughout the whole game. Throughout the whole game, you know, I just wanted to keep focus, you know, and keep balance.
What was it about your stuff that allowed you to be perfect?
¿Y qué tú crees que fue lo que te permitió hacer perfecto en esta noche, según los lanzamientos de esta noche, la combinación de los lanzamientos? ¿Cuáles de ellos?
La muerte de una persona que se murió hace 2 días. Payaque, él siempre fue una persona, un tío para mí, un padre para mí, y en verdad me chocó esa muerte. Y ayer lloré bastante en el clubhouse, me sentía mal y lo tenía en mente y se dio, gracias a Dios se dio, y se lo dedico a él, a Payaque, que Dios lo tenga en la gloria.
Yeah, unfortunately, two days ago, an uncle of mine passed away, and you know, I cried a lot yesterday in the clubhouse. So, you know, I had him with me throughout the whole game. I was thinking about him, you know, and it happened. And it's this game, it's a tribute to him.
What would he think of this?
¿Qué tú crees que él pensaría de este juego perfecto?
Tuviera lo más alegre. Una persona que siempre estuvo ahí conmigo, siempre me estuvo dando buenos consejos y le tocó verlo así. Él lo está viendo desde allá del cielo.
Yeah, he would have been so happy. You know, he was always someone that really brought a joy to our family. And it happened for him to watch it this way from up there, you know, so that's it.
Domingo, congratulations. The 4th perfect game in Yankee history, 24th in MLB history. Enjoy this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ryan, we'll send it back up to you.
Oh, Meredith, what a night. It's what you love about this organization, this uniform, this history. A franchise that has authored more moments like this than any in the history of sports. And you don't tune in on a Wednesday night in Oakland thinking this is what you're getting, but that's what makes this game beautiful.
It was simply amazing, you know, to watch him battle like he did. And the timeouts that he had in between innings, those long innings that the Yankees offense threw together. And for him to go out on, 3 or 4 occasions when the innings got deep and the Yankees were scoring, and him to go out and throw up zeros and 1, 2, 3, constantly filling up the strike zone. The breaking ball, one of the best breaking balls I've seen from him all year. Simply amazing. It was just simply amazing. You know, I'm sitting there, my gut's like in knots. I'm watching you shivering. I'm like, are you nervous? Are you cold? What's going on over there? And then how about Higashioka? You know, everything goes out to him as well. You know, to catch a perfect game, to be able to be on sync with Domingo Germán, a great battery. You know, I look at Posada and Wells and Girardi and Coney, and now Higgy and Germán.
And Meredith is with the man who just called the 24th perfect game in baseball history, Kyle Higashioka with Meredith.
Kyle, Domingo just spoke about the pressure that he felt in that 9th inning. What type of pressure were you feeling in that 9th inning?
A lot. You know, I just took a couple extra seconds to, you know, press the button on each of those pitches because you just don't want to mess it up. But I mean, he was fantastic tonight, and yeah, he deserves all the credit.
What is this moment like for you?
I'm just happy for Domingo. You know, he's had a rough last couple starts, and you know, he's kind of been dragging a little bit, and just for him to do this and get back to being himself. You know, I kind of always felt like of anyone, he has a really good chance to do something like this, and you know, for it to all come together tonight is just amazing.
He had said he was thinking about it all game. When did you start thinking about it? This could be a game where he's perfect.
Well, after the 5th, I was like, okay, I was putting 2 and 2 together, thinking that, you know, we were still going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And but I didn't really start feeling really nervous till the 9th. You know, it just, so much can happen that's out of your control, like a blooper or whatever, that, I mean, it's tough to really worry about it until it's like that last inning where you know it's definitely there for the taking.
Last inning, final out. Can you just describe what you were feeling when it was over and you knew that he had secured the 24th perfect game in baseball history?
Yeah, it was just incredible. Like, just a feeling almost of relief, you know, because you don't ever want to let the pitcher down in that situation, and for him to get that is just fantastic.
What was it about his stuff tonight?
Just commanding the zone, really just working all his pitches and you know, to the corners, and he had a really good breaking ball, and we used it a lot.
Well, he's still celebrating, and I think you should be celebrating with him. Congratulations, Kyle.
Thanks, Meredith.
Send it back to you.
You just love this night for a guy like Kyle Higashioka, who pours his heart and soul into preparing this pitching staff, to calling games, to being locked in behind the plate, all the years he's spent in this Yankees organization, and those two will be linked forever. Domingo Germán, Kyle Higashioka. The battery of history tonight in Oakland. And you could see Domingo Germán calling his teammates over for a picture. But first a picture with the ball, the final out.
Get everybody.
I'm not sure that group's going to be thrilled about a day game tomorrow. There's some celebrating to do tonight. Domingo Germán, the author of history at the Oakland Coliseum. 24th perfect game. 4th in Yankees history. A forever night in California.